Alright, hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Yeah, so in this video what we'll be doing and going over is that I want to set up and establish a new relay network that has been proving to be very troublesome for me lately. The primary issue that I have been having and that I have been running into is that whenever I want to take it down, I realize that this network has been up there for a very, very long time. And that is supporting, it in fact is supporting almost the rest of the entire network as a junction point between Kerbin and actually, you know what? Let's load up paint so I can show you what I mean and show you what I'm talking about. All right, so we are here and we are going to be talking about the reason why I am unable to remove them currently without sending more deep space relays up before I do this. So let's go ahead and grab any color will do. This blue here will represent Kerbin. This gray will represent, well, this color here will represent the Mun. And, oh, actually, yeah, gray will represent the Mun. And this, we're going to choose this green. This green out here will represent Minmus. Now, this isn't exactly centered. So, we have each of these yellow dots will represent places where we have things in orbit. So we have places, we have things in orbit, not quite, there's a boundary here, a gap here, that I don't want to put anything too close, because if we get too close to the Mun, it'll be captured in Mun. We also have stuff in orbit of Mun as well. A few things. We have a few things in orbit of Minmus. And then let me go ahead and grab this color, fill you in here. And on the very edge, beyond Minmus's orbit, we have, wrong tool. We have our deep space relay satellite. Now there's a bunch of other little supporting satellites and relays between there, mostly in the between Mun, the Moon, and Kerbin, but this relay satellite is in a triangular configuration. Why is that important? That gives us 360-degree coverage. Doesn't matter. Basically gives us a omnidirectional coverage, so we can have constant communication. We also have supporting relay networks outside of the outside of Kerbin's SOI or sphere of influence, and those depend on the aforementioned network represented, well, where their orbits approximately are represented here. Um, they're dependent on the outermost network. Now, I do have some temporary fixes up, but they get blocked fairly easily. And even though I know the network can reroute itself, and we could probably get away with one or two at this point, I kind of like the redundancy that I have. Now we're gonna go ahead. I'm going to load up Kerbal Space Program again. And what we're gonna do is we are going to go and I am going to go show you what we are really currently dealing with here, and the fact that it is not as easy as you would think. I still haven't figured, I'm still learning how to use MechJeb, and I don't know if we have enough. We're going to need a rocket with quite a bit of fuel to get up to the altitude that they are at right now. They are on the very edges. The main relay, I don't know why I put them so far out, but I mean it gives them good clearance. I'm also wondering, I actually should check. Do I need to replace them? Are they in need of being replaced, or can they keep functioning? So we're gonna go ahead and all right. So I just scrapped about 23 minutes worth of footage. All because it just wasn't, well, that good. But in that 23 minutes, here is the solution that I came up with to my problem. I have a more robust solution than what's currently up there. 2 antennas. This one's going to be handling connections that this is going to be helping with connectivity within the Kerbin system. But the big one up top is for well, one's for communicating with everything else. This is basically my everything, including the kitchen sink approach. We have 4 solar panel arrays, we have an extra battery which adds an additional 400 units of electric charge on top of the 1000 units of electric charge. We have 761 meters per second delta V to use for adjusting orbit and stuff if we need to. And keep in mind, we will be launching 3 of these. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Now, the only issue I'm going to see with this is that we're going to have to time these launches, and I might have to get a mod to help with that, because I want to time these to so they're approximately spread far enough apart to make just a regular triangle with their signals. Basically, they're interlinked signals. So we're gonna go, and we're not gonna download a mod today, but we are gonna work on the supporting rocket for this. Don't worry, we're not leaving this editor, because, well, this is kind of what we're gonna work with. So I'm gonna start because now we're doing this rocket completely from scratch. I don't have anything robust enough pre-builds that we can use, so we're just gonna have to experiment here a little. Um, First off, we're gonna take this, we're gonna add. We have to be mindful about how much weight we're adding at the top, because that can really hurt our performance at the bottom of the rocket. It doesn't matter how good our performance at the bottom of the rocket. It doesn't matter how good the performance at the top of the rocket is with the first and second stage. It really matters is getting off the ground and getting into space. That is the first step, because I might do something where we have this rendezvous and dock, or have something dock to it, but I don't know. Do I go through the process of having, like, let's see, having a docking port like this, having another thing, and having that dock? I don't know if I want to take that approach. That seems like a very wasteful and messy approach. As well as these stages right here are going to be in space for a long while, so I want to minimize the amount of space junk that we have, because we currently have a very clean work slate, and it's totally not for me turning off persistent space debris, which oh wait, it is. But yeah, I'm thinking with this, we're gonna have a pusher stage, and we're gonna have that. We could make it ionic, but I don't feel like doing that, because ion's pretty weak unless you're using a Cal controller, which I don't particularly want to create a boost drive, which is that has enough thrust there to get us. Alright, we have this. Now we're going to be moving this all the way up here, so we have plenty of room. Are we at the very top? Yeah, we're at the very top. Honestly, I should download a mod. I should download the hangar extender mod. But I don't really feel like doing so. Anyways, we have this. I'm not gonna add any automation to this little booster piece, because I don't know how far we're gonna get up. We're gonna have to test the rocket as we go. Now, I am very limited in terms of what parts I can use right now. Also, I need to unplug my other laptop. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. For those who don't know, I have two laptops. My gaming laptop and my, I guess, art laptop. My art laptop is my first laptop. That is the one which I used to do a majority of my Blender work. I am moving slowly towards not using it at all, but I keep it just in case I need a second laptop for something like data recovery. Anyways, let's go and I guess finish working on this rocket. So we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna cover this up in a fairing. In fact, I think that's what we're going to have to do, because otherwise this thing will not be going through the atmosphere very smoothly at all. We are also going to have to have automation on the second stage, or else we're going to end up with a dead probe core, which I don't... Actually, are we going to end up with a dead probe core? We might have enough electricity to get away. I think we have enough electricity to get away with it. Let's throw caution to the wind a little bit here. For cautiously here, however. And I guess we're going to... Let's go to here. Now, do I build a bigger rocket? Or... May have to do custom fuel tanks here. Now, I've done custom fuel tanks before, but that's not something I want to do. And I want to stick with the stock approach for this. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead, grab a booster here. While I'm at it, I might start auto-strutting things together, because we all know what unplanned disassembly and floppy noodle rockets in KSP1 look like. For those who have watched KSP1 videos, you know that rockets without any sort of struts, or especially auto strut feature, tend to flop around violently and explode upon takeoff. So to mitigate that, because this game isn't perfect, even though it's finished its development cycle already, now I need to do a quick... Oh, you know what? We're gonna wait to launch this until tomorrow or the next day, because aside from other projects that I have to be working on, we have to figure out what's the setting to get them into that orbit with MechJeb. Because I did that semi-manually. I don't remember if I used MechJeb or not for that. If I did use MechJeb for the previous launch, then I've completely forgotten what height and what orbit height I need to set it at. I'm adjusting volume settings here, so if the volume goes a little bit weird, That's what that is. I'm doing it as I'm recording. I should probably do a test recording, but um, anyways, we're gonna start by adding maybe wondering what those are for. That's for pitch, yaw, and roll control. That is literally all they are for. The other option I have is putting 4 of these engines and clipping them inside, but I don't feel like doing that, frankly. I think I've used that trick with these far too often in some of my builds, and I want to try a different technique, and this is what I'm going for. I know I'm not going to have as much control, but it should work just fine for what we're doing. Um, a little can go a long way, and I'm going to take that approach. Anyways, let's get the third stage. This is probably going to be 4 to 5 stages. I don't know if this is overkill. I don't know if it's not. But we're going to be going progressively larger and larger sizes. So let's go ahead and grab this. Nope, it's this one. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and take this right here. This is an adapter. That is sizing our rocket up to, that is a fuel tank adapter that goes from, I believe, what is it? Uh, 2.5 to 3.7 meter, to 3.7 meter fairing size. This also gives us additional fuel to work with, which is good because we are going to be adding yet another stage. And before I forget, we are going to add auto strut grandparent part, auto strut grandparent part, and auto strut grandparent part. As you can see, we have a long, skinny noodle which is going to be going up into space. Hopefully. Um, we are probably going to have to add some control surfaces here, which... yeah, no, we're going to be having to add some control surfaces onto this because currently it does not have any. I think ullage motors would be perfect up there. That is entirely because when we're launching this, we really don't want to have a situation where we don't have any sort of control. So I'm putting those there preemptively, expecting that there will indeed be problems later down the line. So we have this here. I don't want to go any bigger than that. And we can't go, well, technically we can go past the mainsail, but using the Rhino at sea level isn't a great option. The Rhino is vacuum optimized, and if we do use it at sea level, it is not as powerful as, say, one of these. We're going to be taking the big dumb booster approach here. Or rather, no, we're taking the many small dumb boosters approach here, and we do have this. I guess we could use the mammoths to get off the ground initially. I don't know how many I want to put on this. That is another thing I want to figure out before we go do anything crazy again. I have an idea. Okay, I have some image in my mind of what I want to do. Alright, we have a 3.0 fairing. And that gives us 1,000 something meters per second of delta V. I want to have this tie back into the first stage. Which is kind of a lot to ask. And I know it's attached to there, so I know it'll probably be draining fuel from there. That's something I have to think about. Now was the point where we start designing some fairly large booster segments, and I want to go a little bit overboard with this. Let's grab nose cones. Not big enough. That's too big. That's the size we're looking for. Just because I don't quite trust AutoStrut 100% on this, I don't know if those AutoStruts will break. We're doing that. I know it's skewed a little offset. That's the best I can get it. Anyways, we're going to be stacking mammoths here. Now, I've stacked and well, we're not going to be stacking engines here. We're going to be just putting the engines on. We're going to grab our mammoth engines. Oh, lovely. I go to do that and it... That's irritating. I think there's a point that we can commonly agree on is a good area for that, so they're not touching but still kind of stacking. 3.6. That's enough to get us out of the atmosphere. This is 9,000 meters of delta V. I don't know if I want to swap the upper stage for a nuclear engine. That is something to think about here. Because we can get a good enough IS delta V from using a single nuclear engine. The only caveat with that is They don't have any gimbal, so yeah. I do not know though. Anyways, I think we've done enough prototyping. I'm gonna work off camera and finish this up, but for the meantime, please do consider hitting that like and subscribe button and subscribing to my channel. I do a lot of videos on different games. I do play I do play quite a bit of Roblox. Roblox is having a bit of an issue, not in terms of recording, but uh, I'm more referring to their policy. They're trying to change a policy, and it's receiving a lot of negative backlash. So yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Yeah, we're going to be launching our first satellite next video. Hopefully everything goes okay. I am going to do a test launch off camera just to make sure that this will indeed work, and that I don't have to go back and make some more adjustments. But in the meantime, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Yeah, this is after the video, and I was tinkering, just like I said, with this rocket. This may look a little bit overkill, but I honestly don't know. We are going up fairly far, and I don't want to be in a situation where I have too little delta V. We're probably going to have excess of delta V by the end of this, but I don't know. Just wait till the next video, and we'll probably have something together. Oh, and apparently we can't have our cake and eat it too. I ran into a bit of an issue where we can't really go out that far. I don't know how I achieved this. I did this in an earlier version of KSP, so there may have been some bugs involved, but yeah, I can't replicate that. So I guess we're just gonna send one satellite up next video and call it good, because I don't want to mess with those. Those are in a very peculiar orbit.